Today I want to talk about something powerful, uncomfortable, and incredibly freeing. Loving yourself so much that you are no longer afraid of who you might lose along the way. For many people, this idea sounds selfish. But in reality, it is the beginning of living an authentic life. Too many of us spend years trying to keep people, please people, or prove ourselves to people who were never meant to understand us. We shrink our dreams, silence our voices, and tolerate things that hurt our spirit just to maintain approval. But here is a truth that changes everything. The moment you truly love yourself, you stop negotiating your worth. You begin to understand that your life is not meant to be built around fear of loss. It is meant to be built around purpose, alignment, and growth. Loving yourself does not mean you stop caring about others. It means you finally start caring about yourself enough to stop abandoning who you are. One of the biggest shifts that happens when you begin loving yourself deeply is that you become focused on what you deserve out of life. Not what you were told to want. Not what others expect of you. But what your soul genuinely desires. There is a reason certain dreams live inside of you. There is a reason certain visions refuse to leave your mind. That desire is not random. It is a glimpse of the person you are capable of becoming. In fact, many personal development teachers explain that the reason we desire something is because a version of ourselves already exists that has it. That possibility is already within our reach if we are willing to grow into it. But stepping into that version of yourself requires something many people are afraid of. It requires belief. And sometimes belief looks like what the world calls delusion. To accomplish anything extraordinary in life, you must first believe in something that does not yet exist. You have to see the future before it becomes reality. This is the same principle discussed in the best-selling self-help book The Secret, which popularized the idea that our thoughts and beliefs influence the experiences we attract into our lives. The book argues that focusing on positive outcomes and possibilities can shape how we act and what we pursue. In other words, the life you want begins with the identity you believe in. You must feel like the person you want to become before the world reflects it back to you. But here's the deeper part of this journey. Self-love is not just about confidence or success. It is also about healing. Many of us are walking through life carrying wounds from childhood, rejection, abandonment, criticism, or experiences that made us feel like we were not enough. Those wounds often shape our relationships, our fears, and the way we talk to ourselves. That is why inner healing matters. When we heal our inner child, we begin to release the stories that told us we were unworthy. Books about emotional healing often emphasize that reconnecting with the inner child allows people to release guilt, shame, and fear while rebuilding self-compassion and emotional resilience. Healing does not mean pretending the pain never happened. It means refusing to let the past define your future. It means choosing to become the loving voice that your younger self may never have had. Another powerful lesson in self-love is understanding that loving yourself is not a one-time decision. It is a daily practice. In the book Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It, the author describes making a simple vow to himself during one of the darkest times of his life. To treat himself with love and repeat the phrase, "I love myself," until it became his new inner voice. This idea may sound simple, but it reveals something profound. The relationship you have with yourself is the foundation of everything else in your life. Your relationships, your confidence, your courage to chase dreams. Everything begins with how you treat yourself when no one else is watching. Self-love also means accepting responsibility for your life. Not blaming others. Not waiting for someone to rescue you, but recognizing that your life ultimately belongs to you. Psychologist Nathaniel Branden explained in his book The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem that healthy self-esteem is built through practices like self-acceptance, personal responsibility, and living with purpose. When you take responsibility for your life, something amazing happens. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances. You start seeing yourself as the creator of your future. And here is the most beautiful part of this journey. When you love yourself deeply, you stop chasing validation. You stop tolerating what drains your spirit. You stop abandoning your dreams. Instead, you begin walking through life with a quiet certainty. A certainty that says, no matter what happens, life is working in my favor. Even when things fall apart. Even when people leave. Even when the path changes. You trust that every experience is guiding you closer to who you are meant to become. So if there is one message I hope you take with you today, it is this. Choose yourself. Choose healing. Choose growth. Choose the version of you that believes in possibility. Because the life you want is not waiting for permission from others. It is waiting for you to decide that you are worthy of it. Love yourself enough to release the past. Love yourself enough to believe in your future. And love yourself enough to become the person you were always meant to be.